Hey everybody, it's John from the Gloucester Library, and for today's Let's Draw vegetables for National Eat Your Vegetables Day. Alright, let's get started. So the first one I'm going to draw is broccoli. And for broccoli, I'm just going to draw a piece rather than the whole bundle of it, because that's often how you're going to see it in salads and on plates. So I'm going to start with a bushy top, using little U shapes. So like the top, I think it's called the crown. And then for the bottom, I'm going to start with like a bushy shape here, maybe like a bushy shape over here, kind of like that. And it's because it's kind of made of little pieces. So when I do the stalk of the broccoli, let's draw that kind of like a tree trunk here. And I put a little bump in there because the stalks sometimes have little bits that come out. So I'm going to show you what I mean in a second here. So let's say like this one here comes up to this piece. So I'll kind of like draw a line going up to that. And this one I'll have like kind of coming up to it there. Just like that. And this one I'll have that coming up behind. And maybe like another one you can see behind here. And I'm going to do some more U shapes in there, some on top, just to show that these are little bits that are separate from the rest to make up the whole. And just kind of put them all together and you have your piece of broccoli. And I'm going to just do a quick coloring in on that one. Oops. There we go. Let me find a shade of green real quick. It's kind of a dark green on top and lighter for the stalk part. So I'm going to do, maybe pick like a little airbrush here, something I can fill in really quick with. There we go. And I can maybe add some shading if I have like a darker green I can use, or depending on what you're using the color, you can even use black if you shade lightly to show where like the shadows of things. So I'm going to kind of shadow the bottom because the light's coming from the top there. And then the stalk part of it's a lighter green. So if you have a lighter green, use that to color in the stalk. And like the shadowy parts there, the darker parts where it meets the bushy part of the broccoli. You can darken that in a little bit. There we go. We have our piece of broccoli. Alright, so let's see. What's next? Let's try, how about a tomato? Let's do a tomato. So tomatoes, fairly easy. It's kind of a similar shape to like like apples and other the kind of rounded shaped. So the thing with that is the one I'm going to draw is kind of short and fatter. So it's like more of an oval shape on the bottom. And then on the top, it kind of has a little bit of curves where you see like the tomato has like kind of a bump. I think there's 4 of them from what it looks like. And I'm going to do some of the little skinny type of leaves that they have on them. And you can do as many as you want. You can just do like 1 or 2. You can do a whole bunch if you want. See, I'm going to do maybe 5. And then maybe just a little, a little bit of the stem there where it attached to the vine. And then I'm going to finish my last bump showing up behind. my tomato. And if you didn't draw any leaves, you can just draw the bump straight across. But I was drawing my leaves first because they're the part furthest up that we see covering the back of the tomato. So I kind of draw things in the order that they are layered on top of each other in our pictures. So now I'm going to color my tomato. I'm going to pick a nice bright red and find that airbrush. Of course, you color with whatever you're working with. If you're doing digitally, it's great because there's so many things you can pick for coloring digitally, but otherwise, I mean, doing the color with crayons or colored pencils or even like watercolors, whatever you might have, it'll turn out great. Alright, I pick a deeper shade of red so I can shade my bottom. I'm going to have all my light sources coming from the top. And just like a little bit there where it's got the bump, and a little bit around my leaves because they make a little bit of a shadow underneath them. Alright, and then pick like some green for my little stem and my leaves. There we go. So I got a tomato. Alright, so what should we do next? How about, let's do a carrot. Let's see, for a carrot, I'm going to draw a long line like this. It's kind of got some bumpiness to it. And then have it curve here. And then come back down to a point at the end. I had to come back a little bit. I went too far. That's okay. Just make sure you can get a point at the end there. And then I'm going to draw the leaves that come out the top, where they poke out of the ground. And that's how we pick it out of the ground. So draw a few little lines here from the little stems for the leaves. And then draw the leaves like that. Just like a little bundle of leaves, kind of like bundled together there. And I'm going to add some lines in my carrot just to show, because it has those bumps where it kind of looks like it's got little ridges in it, little bumps, and these lines kind of help show that that's why we got the bumps on the edges. Alright, let's color it in. Let me find a nice orange for my carrot. Nice carrot orange. There we go. And get my airbrush. Again, color with whatever you have. I'm just using this one because I like the way I can fill in the space quick, so you don't have to watch me color a whole bunch. There we go. And I'm going to add some lines where there's some showing the ridges in my carrot. Let me pick a green out for my my leaves. And darker green. Got them all colored in. You can pick like a darker shade of green, or even like use black to lightly shade where the shadows areas would be on there. And there's our carrot. Alright, let's see. What should we do next? How about, I got one. How about a pumpkin? Pumpkins are actually vegetables. They're really fun. I like drawing them. So they're kind of this one's going to be like a wide shape. But I'm going to show you how I draw them. If you want to, you can draw like an oval shape of the pumpkin. I'm going to show you how I like to draw the little bumps that make up the sections of it. So when I draw a pumpkin, what I do is I'll start with the middle bump, and I'll draw a little curve like that, and then I'll follow an imaginary line down to the bottom of the pumpkin, and then draw the bottom hump. And of course there's going to be different sections. So now I'm going to start with the next one, and it's going to run into this one, so I'm going to draw a curve and have it end there, imaginary line, and have it come down to here. Same thing on this side, meet there, imaginary line, have it curve down to here. See, and you can do the whole line down if you like, but if you do it, maybe try to make this one lighter or thinner than the ones on the top and bottom, just so you can show its texture in it. It's like indented, but it makes it to where you know, I think it looks a little nicer that way. And now I want to do just one more bump on each side that meets and creates the sides. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to go like this and actually draw the line all the way down and have it meet here. Same with this one. Draw it all the way down and have it meet. Oop, I don't like that. Let me do it again. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to do the stem. I'm going to have that poking out from here. Just a little stem shape, and you can add a few little lines in there just to show the way there's some ridges in that stem. And now I'm going to do a few more bumps on the other side coming in. So I'm going to have it come into the middle and into the middle, and another, and one more. Just like that. So now we have our pumpkin. And if you want to, you can do some of the little curly parts of the vine. I'm going to do just, I think, maybe one. Just like right here. They have like these little curly parts from the vine. Well, maybe I'll add one more. One more. It's like right here. There we go. And now we can color it in. So let me find an orange, good pumpkin orange. Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah, right about there. Alright, let me get my airbrush. And let's fill this pumpkin in. There we go. Maybe find like a darker shade, kind of like a brown to use for the shadows. And I'm going to kind of use follow these lines to show you where like the ridges are in the pumpkin. Kind of follow them down. There we go. And kind of darken it in as they curve in towards that stem. Let me find a shade of green. Sometimes it's like a green, brown. Depends on you know, the pumpkin. I've seen some where it's like a dark green and some where it's more of a brown. I'm going to do like a green for this one. A dark green. There we go. Maybe like even a black for my shading, since my green is so dark. Just try not to push down completely, so you just want to shade some there. Alright, so there's our pumpkin. Alright, what should we do next? How about a similar type shape for a bell pepper? Because they have kind of like the little sections in them as well. Alright, so for the bell pepper, I'll do a similar type thing. I'll start with the sections. And there's 4 distinct sections on this bell pepper. So let me start with the first one. I do a curve for the top. Then follow an imaginary line down. Draw the curve there. Alright. And then I'm going to draw another one here. And this one's going to be part of a side. So I'm going to start it up here. And draw it all the way down. And have it curve up. All right. And then for this one, I'm going to draw the this one as a side as well. And that would come all the way down up. And now I'm going to draw the little stem coming out, like that. And you can put some of the some lines in there for the texture as well. And then one more bump. You just see it from the other side. So I have it start there, and maybe come around and end there. So I have our 4 little bumps for our bell pepper. And if you want, like mine's not a dramatic shape, but you can have it come out more. Like let me correct this a little bit so you can see, because it gets its shape because it is more of like a wider shape towards the top, more like a bell, like an upside down bell. Let me do that again. So let's have that come out more and then come back in. Same here, come out more and come back in. There we go, more of a bell shape. And I'm gonna make this one a, it could be like red or yellow or green. Maybe I'll do green. Let's do green for this one. So let's find like a green pepper type shade. And let's get my airbrush. All right. And let's color our pepper in green. And pick a little darker shade, or use black. You can use black too if you want. Just remember, shade light. I'll follow my little sections down to the bottom. There we go. And then you can use this dark shade for your stem as well. And then maybe go in with some black to add the shadow for that. There we go. So green bell pepper. All right. Let's see, maybe we'll do a couple more. What should we do next? How about a head of lettuce? It seems pretty easy because it's a circle. So like do like a circle shape. But you can do some bumpiness in it just to show the little, veins of the leaves of lettuce. So just kind of do that. And like right here, I'm going to have a part where it kind of comes out a little. Because that's where one of the leaves is sticking out, like the first one you start to peel from your head of lettuce. And I'm going to have that bumpiness kind of go like to here and then wrap around. And let's say like I have another piece of lettuce, another leaf of my lettuce wrapping around here. And now for this part, I'm going to add some more wavy, curvy lines just to show the texture of the leaf of lettuce that's coming off there. And then have some lines coming in and around to it to show the texture in that leaf of lettuce. And then have like these ones, the little lines for this one going this way to show the texture in that leaf. And these ones, maybe I'll have them come in this way and show texture coming that way for that leaf of lettuce. You could just do, say, maybe 2 leaves if you want. If you don't want to have like an extra one here, maybe just have one going that way and one going this way. I decided to do 3. And then go back in and color this one in green. The lettuce is a lighter green usually, so pick a light green for that. Alright, and go ahead and fill that in. There we go. And like a darker shade for my shadows. You can kind of follow some of the lines there in your texture just to show that, it has that texture in the lettuce. little bit of shadow underneath the leafy part. There we go. All right, there's our leaf of lettuce. All right, let's see. What should we do next? Ooh, I know. How about an ear of corn? That's a good one. Man, there's so many I'd like to do, but I think I'm just going to do 2 more for today. Let's do a ear of corn. So for that, we're going to do, it's kind of like a long oval shape on there. So I'm going to do like the oval shape here for like the top of the corn, and leave a little bit of space here, and do another oval shape for the bottom, and do like a little 2 lines that come out and like a little bump just to show where it was cut from the stalk. And now I'm going to do part of the husk. So like this is the exposed part of the corn, and then the husk, I'm going to have 2 little parts of the husk coming up. So for this one, I can go ahead and draw like a line going across the bottom, and then I'm going to draw a line from my husk coming up, and just like that, kind of like a very gradual curve, and then have my husk come up on this side and then curve around, and this one's going to come out from here and up and then down, just like that. You can draw a little line inside or on the other side too to show how it kind of wraps around the corn a little. And then as guides for my little kernels of corn, I'm just going to draw lines lightly that come down and around like that. Oops, I don't like that one. Let's do that again. There we go. All right. And then what I'm going to do is use those as guides to draw the kernels. Now you can draw all the little kernels if you want, just using those as guides to make the little rectangular shapes for the kernels. Or what you can do is, what I like to do, since I don't want to draw every single one, is I will draw some, and then as I go up, I'll draw the ones down here for sure, because they'll be, you know, ones where like there'll be some shading in here, some shadow from you know, being covered by the husks some. But then as I work my way up, I start to just kind of hint at the kernels, just with like a little curve shape in there. And then maybe as you go up here, you can draw lines for some of them, maybe just on the side where, like, since the light's going to come from this way, I'll maybe draw some more lines for the ones here, but then just kind of leave the rest of them kind of like a hint of, hey, there's more there, but I'm not going to draw each little one. So there would be our ear of corn. And let me find a nice corn yellow. Nice and bright. There we go, I like that. And let's find my airbrush to color with. Alright, let's color in my corn. There we go. And a little darker shade. If you can find like a darker yellow, or you can even use like maybe orange, maybe like a light brown color to use for the shading. So I'm going to do that on this side and down in here. I'm going to follow my lines up just a little on those ones, just to give it that little bit of shading to show how the little kernels are curved, and they curve into those lines. And let's do the green for the husk. It'll be like a lighter, can be like a lighter green or a darker green depending how freshly picked it is, and some of them, so they do seem to get darker than others. I'm going to use this kind of light shade of green here, color that in, and a darker shade. And of course, for shades, if you don't have a bunch of shades of a color, you can always shade with black, especially with crayon and colored pencil. You just press lightly to do your shading. So it's okay if you don't have a bunch of shades of one color, that's okay. You can use black for shading. And on your light areas, just color lightly with your, like we're here with your green, just color lightly so you can get that area where you can see the lights hitting it, and then darker down here. Alright, so there's our unicorn. Alright, I think I said we'll do one more. Let's do some peas in a pod. How about that? Alright, so peas in a pod. So first I'm going to draw the pod, and that's kind of like a long oval shape that's pointed on the ends. So I'm going to start with the bottom, have it curve up like that, and then the top, and have it curve up like that. And this is the part where it was connected to the rest of the plant. So I'm just going to draw a little, kind of like a wavy rectangle there, and just like a little part where it was connected. This little part here. And then I'm going to draw just a tiny bit of the pod curving right here. So just kind of use the line for the bottom to follow and make another line here for where the open pod is kind of curving, and going to slightly cover up the peas in our pod. And now I'm going to draw the peas, and I'm going to start with this one. So I'm going to say, like, this is the view we're seeing. This one's part's a little bit closer than this, that's why it's a little bigger than this side. And I'll have like my peas kind of poking out here, and just try to draw the best circle that you can, and they kind of overlap a little bit as they sit in there. And again, don't worry if it's not perfectly round, just do your best. Of course, you know, if you're really trying to get them right and you can erase, go ahead and do that, it's okay. Like right here, I kind of went over my line a little bit, so I'm just going to kind of darken my line in a little so you can't tell. There we go. Alright, so now I'm going to color in my peas in my pod. I'm going to pick, I think that's kind of a pea green, I like that. And let me pick my airbrush. Alright, so I'm going to color along here, and on the inside up here, and this part just kind of dark green. And now I'm going to do my peas. See, I'm leaving that part kind of white, or at least color in lighter, just where you can see where the light's hitting the peas. And I pick a darker shade. You can also use black if you like. Just remember to color nice and light for the shading if you're using black, so it doesn't just color it all a dark black. Just nice and light. Alright, there we go. And a little bit here. A little bit in between each of them. Alright, and I might use like a little yellowy type green for this part that's sticking out where it was on the plant. It's like that. Not very different, but a little bit different. Alright, so those are peas in a pod. Alright, I hope you enjoyed today's Let's Draw. I'd love to see your drawings, if you can share them in the comments below. And I hope to see you next time.